I suggest to you that if you are facing a challenge, don't stop. Stay busy. Work your plan. Continue to do those things that you know that work for you after you have evaluated yourself in the situation. This is my day, and nothing out here is going to stop me. And you have the power to do that. You can decide that you're going to change.
Unbelievable start to this fight.
Give him to a good job.
Vicious right hand. And the referee has already stopped the fight. Mamma mia. Matisse. Oh, and fires off the right hand. Jose goes down. Mora has stopped the fight. Lucas Matisse has won. Oh, he knocks him down in the flat with a beautiful right uppercut. Wow.
I'm in control here. I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm not going to let this destroy me. I'm coming back.
We all know Fury, he just a phony, man. This is just for acting. You know where I am, you know what time, you know what place. I ain't scared of nobody. I'll come in your backyard, baby, for that, my man.
Listen, anytime, any place, anywhere, I'll fight you in your backyard. Like a dumb Klitschko, I'll beat you, you bum. You're a bum.
Gonzalez drops Lana for the lethal left hook.
He's hurt. He's hurt bad, guys.
He was rattled by that left hook by Gonzalez in round one. Goes down again. Mamma mia, Gonzalez has done it.
Right hand by Von Faub. Coming forward. Stevenson bending over.
Stevenson goes down with a straight right hand. And drops Glavowski for the first time in his career.
To set up the head, not just take the legs off from the guy.
Goes Hook. The first time in his career he has been knocked to the canvas. Can he get up? 30 seconds left to go. Glavowski trying to pull off the upset. Again. Hook is in major trouble. It's over. It's over.
A sensational right hand knockout by a bloody Juan Manuel Marquez, and that is the keystone moment of his career.
Talent you have naturally. Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft. There's no easy way around it. No matter how talented you are, your talent is going to fail you if you're not skilled.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. How's everybody doing on today? And today is another good day for boxing. And some things took place today, right? It didn't sit well with what you saw in the intro, right? Tarver versus Flanagan. And Antonio Tarver. Now, this is interesting because today I was at work and, you know, I'm working hard and I come across a tweet from Adonis Stevenson. And it says, as you can see, it says, "Congrats at Badou Jack. Now that you have a belt, I want it. At Andre Ward is wasting my time. Let's fight. At Showtime Boxing, at Premier Boxing." Right? So he's calling out Badou Jack after Badou Jack made easy work of Nathan Cleverly on the Mayweather-McGregor undercard. And so, to me, I've been said this about Stevenson. You know, I think Stevenson is a good fighter. I take nothing away from Adonis Stevenson, his upbringing and his whole story and where he is right now in boxing. I take nothing away from him. But what I have a problem with Adonis is the simple fact that, hey, it's the way that you calling out certain people, right? And I was just talking about Adonis Stevenson earlier this week with my guy, Jesse from TBV at the Boxing Voice. And we was talking about Adonis like running from his mandatories. Elita Alvarez, right? And those of you who know who Eliter Alvarez is, he's a great fighter, but he's been the mandatory for Adonis Stevenson WBC title for a while. It's twice that Adonis paid this man step-aside money. Twice. And to me, I have a problem with that. And the reason why I have a problem with that is because, think about this. If you're the WBC's champ and you're pretty much a top of the division, right? You're a top of the division and you could pretty much have some say-so in what it is that you want to happen. Now, we know the story with Kovalev, and we know the story with not just Kovalev, but with other fighters in the division at 175. Now, in the beginning, negotiations with Adonis and Kovalev, purse bid, things did not work out. And I think it happened twice. Things didn't work out for these guys. And so, on down the road, Adonis lets Kovalev slip past his hands, and Kovalev ended up fighting Ward. Andre Ward, a guy who is at 168 pounds, move up in weight and take on the best at 175 and crush a Kovalev, who everybody was afraid of. Right? You have to say Adonis was afraid of Sergey Kovalev. You have to say that. What reason it gives you not to say that? But Antonio Tarver today, that just didn't sit well with him at all. So we're on IG, and I seen a post from Adonis on Twitter. And then I get on Instagram, and I see the Boxing Voice, who I currently work with. I seen the Boxing Voice post it, right? And I seen that post, and it just made me feel the same way again. So when I saw that, I said, you know what? It's something that I want to say, right? So I took to Instagram, and this is what I said. I said, I'm having an issue with Stevenson calling Jack out when he ran from Kovalev. A man not even in your weight class moved up and fought him twice. And you was the champ at 175. Mix us with that, Adonis, shaking my head, right? I said that. And then Tarver took to Instagram to respond to me. And this is what he said. He said, it's my time _229. Don't none of those light heavyweights want to see that man. Bad fight for any of them. He's being avoided. Trust me. Don't believe the hype. Why would you think nobody's talking? Undisputed actually fight is Ward Stevenson, but nobody's talking. Basically what he's saying is nobody's talking about Stevenson because everybody is afraid of Stevenson and his power, right? He's saying Ward can go pick a money fight or a safer route. That's hashtag facts. How is Ward picking any kind of money fight, right? Any kind of money fight in this situation? How? I'm really trying to figure that out. How is Ward picking the money fight in this situation? Because when you look at it, it just don't make sense. It don't make sense. How could that be? Andre Ward, first of all, the first fight with Kovalev, he didn't make $6 million, right? I think he made, what, $3 million that fight? Then the second fight, he made $6 million. Kovalev was the one who shitted himself and didn't get anything because his money was coming from pay-per-view buys. And he only did 160 in pay-per-view buys. So tally that out. Andre Ward is not handpicking anything right now. Not. So moving right along. At the Boxing Voice had something to say, and this is what they said. At Antonio Tarver, agrees Stevenson is a beast, but would love to see Ward display the sweet science against pure power. I think if Ward Stevenson were to happen sooner than later, I go with Ward by decision. I take it you're picking Superman over SOG. And he said, at the Boxing Voice, not a chance in hell. At that, ain't got nothing to do with boxing. That's just business. Well, Ward, guess what? I mean, not Ward, but Tarver. Guess what? You really have to think about the simple fact that these guys, right? Andre Ward and Kovalev. Andre Ward showed us something in Kovalev that a lot of people was running from. He showed us something, right? Even though he touched a canvas once, he still, in both fights alone, put on masterful performance to me. A lot of people say, oh, it was a low blow, and they say Kovalev really won the first fight, but for a guy who got knocked down in the first round, turn around. Was it the first round? No, who got knocked down in the first fight, I believe. Turn around and come back and win that fight, and then win a second fight with Kovalev. What more can you say, right? How can you say a guy in Adonis is that guy, right? It just don't sit well with me. So Tarver took it to my messenger, right? And he messaged me in Messenger. And he said he didn't run from Kovalev. He said he didn't run from Cove. Cove went in another direction, and he will KO Cove anyway. How, Sway? How? I just want to know how Adonis Stevenson would KO Kovalev. Granted, they both have power, but Adonis hasn't fought anybody outside of Tony Bellew. Really. Outside of Bellew, who has Adonis faced? That's a quality opponent. Who has he faced? I'm just waiting. Those of you who tuning in, tell me. Quintarius, Fisher, Manny. Hey, let me know. I need to know. Who has Adonis faced, right, in his career right now that is really good outside of Tony Bellew? Because he didn't face his mandatory in Elita Alvarez. And you really have, if those of you who don't know who Elita Alvarez is, follow me on YouTube. We did an interview with Elita Alvarez before his fight, before he became the mandatory. Before he became the mandatory for Adonis Stevenson, we did an interview with him. Go back, look at that on my page, and you would know who Elita Alvarez is. But he's ran from Elita Alvarez. He ran from Kovalev. Now you're running from Ward, trying to go for Jack. Get out of here, right? It's crazy to me. So we're gonna continue. This is what kept going on in my messenger with Antonio Tarver. So this is what I said to Tarver. I said, Cove waited for Stevenson. If you are the WBC champ, why not unify with a guy everyone was calling King of 175? Stevenson really don't have any quality wins outside of Bellew. So why not take that fight? Right? I said that. And if I'm saying anything wrong, please guys, let me know. If I said anything that did not make sense in reference to this guy, please tell me, cuz I'm really trying to figure this out. Adonis Stevenson, I mean, how the hell would you even think about calling out a guy in Badou Jack based upon his performance with Nathan Cleverly? Badou Jack, that's not a money fight. The money fight is with Ward, with Andre. So why the hell would you run from Andre and then you call out a guy and Badou Jack. Why? Why do that? So, moving right along, Tarver's response to me was, it's only one fight at light heavyweight, and it's Ward. And why not unify? Because they're having any intentions of fighting Stevenson. That's why his name never gets mentioned with Ward. It's by design. If he hits Ward on the chin, what you think will happen? And so I'm looking at this message, right, that Tarver's sending me, and I'm like, Antonio, like, come on, man. Like, even you can't be a product of the environment with Adonis Stevenson. You can't. You can't be. Even though this man has power, he has power. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, he has power. But at the same time, this man cannot, to me, he can't box. Andre Ward would outbox Adonis Stevenson all night long. All night. And so, we're going to continue with what was said. This is what I had to say. I said, I will agree that if he catch Ward, he would drop. But my question is, he can outsmart Andre. That's the true question. Ward intelligence is key if they were to fight. Andre Ward is a really, come on, guys. You know boxing. And you know, if we were to get Andre Ward versus Adonis Stevenson, right? Say we get that fight right now. Billy said, I don't know, he got more power than Kovalev, one good shot. But that's it, right? He has power, but the thing is with me, he lacked the skill. So you fight guys, yes, you had a power, but you lacked the skill. He lacked the skill set. So of course you're going to run from Andre Ward. He only called Ward out to me once. And that was after Andre Ward defeated Kovalev. But this is my response to Tarver. This is what else I had to say. I will agree that if he catch Ward, he would drop. But my question is, can he outsmart Andre? That's the true question. Ward intelligence is key if they were to fight. And he told me, he said, it's a fight, and both very skilled fighters, with one being a very hardened man with one punch KO power. That's a disaster waiting to happen. Well, guess what? Andre Ward will tell you this. If he's waiting to land one good shot on Andre Ward, come on, man. It's not going to happen. It's not. Kovalev caught him once. Right? We all seen that fight. Kovalev caught him once. Outside of that, what else happened in that fight? Let's just be real. With a guy in Crusher Kovalev who had crazy power at 175. He was a true 175 pounder, light heavyweight. Andre Ward moves up to face this man, who is a true light heavyweight. Yes, he caught Ward. And we can debate that whole knockdown in its entirety, right? In its entirety, I mean. Because what I'm going to say with that knockdown was Andre saw it coming, but the thing is, his reaction time, he was a little bit slow, and it caught him. And when it caught him, boom. It was nothing he could do at that point. And since it was nothing he could do at that point, then guess what? He had to eat that. But he bounced back. He bounced back, and he was dominant for the rest of the fight, to me. And then in fight 2, He was even more dominant. So to sit here and say Adonis is going to run ship against Andre Ward, like, come on, man. Even if he fight the Ripper and Badou Jack, let's just say he fight Jack. To me, he can't outbox Badou right now. Badou is on a whole nother level as far as his progress from the James DeGale fight. Go back and look at when he fought James DeGale. We saw when he fought James DeGale. We saw what happened, right? But then in this fight with Nathan Cleverly, who was a really good fighter, let's not get it wrong. Let's not say Nathan Cleverly was a tomato can or anything like that. We can't say that. He was a world champion. But to turn around and see this fight against Adonis and Badou Jack, I have to give it to Jack. I have to give it to Badou. And the reason why is because Badou Jack, to me, his skill set is he's growing as a fighter. When we see Adonis, I don't see no improvement from Adonis Stevenson at all. None. And if you guys think you see improvement in Adonis, please show me. Show me. Let me know. Send me videos or whatever. Break it down. Break the film down. Whatever you got to do to show me that Adonis Stevenson is improving in his boxing career. I want to see it. Because to me, he's not. He's not at all. But it's funny, though. Antonio, and don't get me wrong, Antonio Tarver is a great guy. I mean, you know, me and him going at it today, it was just, I really didn't understand in what direction Tarver was trying to go with it. Because to me, Tarver was more so stuck on trying to promote Adonis Stevenson and put him in a position to where, you know, he can consider himself, you know, A-side in any fight. Do I believe he's the A-side in any fight? Absolutely not. What money do Adonis bring in that's more than, let's just say, let's not even say Kovalev. Let's just say Andre Ward, right? Ward's following versus Adonis following. Ward's check versus Adonis check. Andre Ward makes the most, right? Even though he may not have the pay-per-view buys. But if we was to get Adonis Stevenson versus Andre Ward, I think we'll do 1 million, right? We could possibly do 1 million pay-per-view buys. It's not going to hit Mayweather McGregor, you know, 6.5. It's not going to hit that. But still, the fact that this happened today, it just didn't sit well with me. And I guess Antonio Tarver's response added fuel to the fire, because not only was he responding, but, you know, it was other people responding and saying, you know, how they felt about Kovalev and how they felt about Ward and Badou Jack. Nobody, first of all, nobody said anything about Badou. And that's what's crazy to me. Nobody said anything about Badou Jack and what Badou Jack bring to the table. But everybody wants to comment on Adonis and what Adonis brings to the table. I'm just saying, can we get some type, just some, we're not asking for much, but can we give some credit to Badou? I mean, come on, man. This guy's a 2-time world champion, 2 different weight classes. And then, if this fight was to happen with Badou and Adonis, and say Badou defeats Adonis Stevenson and takes the WBC, then he's done. Who's going to want to fight Adonis Stevenson at that point? After you lose to Badou Jack, you have no leeway in boxing. Because for one, you fight once a year anyway. We hardly see Adonis in the ring. And so now, you want to call out a guy in Badou Jack, then guess what? With Badou being who Badou is, and from what I know from Badou Jack, damn it, we could get that fight by December. I'm just saying. If Adonis and Ward don't work anything out, right? Say they don't work anything out, we'll have that fight by December. Because Adonis has to give us a fight before this year is out. That first fight don't count. It don't count. You should have fought your mandatory. If you fought your mandatory and Elita Alvarez, we may not even be talking your name right now. But you know, this is the rumor mill. You know, just talking rumors that's out there. And this one right here just didn't sit well with me at all. Period. Point blank. But this is Jeremy Sports Network. We will be back tonight doing our fight preview film study session of Saul Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin. Tonight we have Gennady Golovkin versus Daniel Jacobs. We're going to do a film study on that fight. And if you missed the film study session of Saul Canelo Alvarez, please follow me on Jeremy Sports Network. Please like the page. You can go through the videos and you'll find that video is actually pinned at the top. So you will be able to find that one first. But you can also go to YouTube. Follow us on YouTube at Jeremy Sports Network on YouTube. And you'll be able to find that fight as well. Any show that we do will be on YouTube as well. And also follow us on Twitter at Jeremy_sports. And if you want to get, that Instagram action, we are on Instagram as well at my personal account at itsmytime_229. And there you have it. This is Jeremy Sports Network. I will see you all later on tonight for the Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Triple G fight that is coming soon. We're covering every single thing about these two fighters. And tonight, like I said, we're doing film study session on Gennady Golovkin versus Daniel Jacobs. Stay tuned. This is Jeremy Sports Network signing out. I'll see you guys later on. Peace.